the integration of Miss Shizuka has been a thing that's occurred, I guess, within our group and our other two girlfriends. And now we're up to a total of three. This, in my opinion, is perfect time to introduce number four. We could make this fun again and just kind of do more dynamic stuff between all of them. But now that they've all come to acceptance of this, the perfect thing is to kind of remove us from the others, maybe for an episode, allow us to be introduced to next girl, because also there's a fucking 100 for us to get through. And then I think start doing the same thing. I do fear if we end up following in that path here that the formula is going to become a little repetitive with the order in which they do it. But I guess at the end of the day, if they keep things interesting enough, it could be fun. I would be intrigued to possibly have a girl get introduced that like just doesn't work with the dynamic of the rest, because if they all just kind of get along, it would be like, I mean, there's nothing wrong with that, but I just feel like it could be fun to have one that like doesn't get along and is like always scheming or doing something like weird. But I would believe that the main, what is it, 5 that they've shown us throughout the OP and stuff here that we'll probably be introduced to within this season are probably all going to get along to some extent. So I guess we're just going to kind of go from there. I'd assume it's going to be the, what is it, like white or silver hair girl. She is the one that they show next, like in the ED, when they like flash through them. So I'm assuming she's probably number 4. And I'd assume that if they decide to go that route here, she'll be appearing here. If you like it all, like and subscribe. You mean a lot to me. Feel free to stick around for the discussion. Leave any comments about this episode of the series. Let's go on with episode 5.
スマホなんか後でもいいのに。でも教室に忘れてしまったということでしたし、あれはレンタロウくんの。あれはみんなとの写真や思い出が詰まってる。命より大切な宝物。
Most important thing in the world. And this is where we beat a new girl. Or not. Just find phone.
よかった。
Oh, never mind. It is. It is.
確か AI さんだったかな。
AI? Like AI? Or the way he said it. There it is. There it is. Let's go, baby. I like how he's just gonna get used to it at a certain point. Like he's gonna be like, yeah, this is that thing. I know what it means. And then the other girl's not exactly gonna know. She's still cold though, huh? Nah, I'm good. Wow.
44番目の資格であった私だってあんたより一つ上の
Did you? No. Oh, hell. That's still higher than half, you know? That's still good. Number 1. Oh my god. She a smart one. Stop asking about other girls. Yeah, she's never spoken to anyone else either. But we can break her from that. That's her name. It's funny how that works, Rose got some crazy thick eyebrows, let me tell you, dude. I never even noticed that. Oh, brave adventure.
AI さんはすごく綺麗で美人って感じたってもおっしゃってる。顕微鏡で見るより効率的。そういう問題。
There's already a perfect image here, you know.
剣なんて無意義。先人たちの出した答えがあるのに再現するのに時間の無駄。
You'll never know how to do it on your own, though. So they just kind of let her do it.
玉ねぎもセットしないで何にピント合わせてんのさ。
On the book. Oh my god. +1 for AI. She's up the board. Okay, that. An enemy of everywhere. What a sensation.
さっきは本当にありがとう。別に人手がかければ実験道具の片付けが非効率的になるからやっただ。
I'm only looking at it for my own benefit, buddy.
でもお礼がしたいな。あ、喉乾いてない？ジュースとかどうかな。
Soda's not good. No, no efficiency there. Yeah.
嗜好品にまで効率を。
Everything does in life, dude. Come on.
もっと AI。
Dude, the eyebrows are throwing me off. I'd never noticed this before. What the fuck? Every time I look.
そんな時間を過ごした経験、
Mm.
私にはない。
Is it a family issue or is it just unproductive?
テストの点は上がらない。
I don't agree with that.
どんな評価とも結びつかない。楽しいからは何も得られない。そんな。
Yeah, I disagree completely.
自分の将来を向上させるもの以外に意義のあるものなんてこの世にはない。
Yeah, she is like so not about living in the moment.
こんな議論も時間の無駄。さようなら。
I need to see like the broken side of her though, you know? Before we get a full judgment. Right, like it seems so off. Like there's gotta be the other side that she's hiding, right? Maybe how she operates at home or what she's thinking. Maybe not though. Maybe she's just different. No detail within it. She reflects on it in her own time though. Hmm.
私はなぜあんなことを。愛情連太郎の役に立ちたくて時間の無駄。練習率は 3.14159265358979323846。
I love her room setup too. Like completely empty, straight white, like
練習率だけに
eyes like more. Oh my god. Can't get her mind off of him. He threw her world apart, bro. It's over. You must do away with him or confront it. Sorry. Alright. Success. Number 4. I love how he accepts it. He just assumes, he's like, you know what? You're right. Oh.
本当は振られるのが最も効率的で理想だった。
Hmm.
でもそれ
Since you did not, I must, and then we can move past this together. Except that's not gonna happen.
私は今日この恋を終わらせに来た。
Except that's not gonna happen.
なんでわざわざそんな好き同士なのに。
There's no point. Yeah.
結婚と子供のみ。
I have no interest in them.
今の私には不要。あなたと付き合ったりなんかしない。
Yeah, I'll wait till the end of the episode, buddy.
それじゃ。AI さん。残念だけど。
From the way you look at the world, not right, dude. So this means nothing.
こんな失恋程度で君との恋を終わらせることなんかできない。簡単に割り切ることはできないよ。だから一日だけ俺とデートしてくれないか。そんなの。それでもダメだったらきっぱり諦めるって約束する。
If it'll stop you from, you know, approaching for the rest of however long, she's gonna have to go with it. A few days later, here we go. The fun day together. Ah, yes. Take someone like her to this place, right? Nice. The goat. That's true, you came all this way. It's about to be jokes when the other 3 girls are all hanging out here. We gotta take her on something more thrilling to force expression out of her, you know? They're more efficient than the other cameras too. Okay, never mind then. My bad, my bad. I just assumed you'd have to go get things developed at some point. This woman. That's a good picture. It's just me. There's nothing special. Why would I ever just spin in circles like this to get sick? These are actually like the worst too. I feel like I'd be getting more sick on these things than literally any other ride ever. She might like this. It'll be a solution for her to get out, you know? Oh, okay, never mind. Miscalculation. Yeah, come up with a remark about this, huh? What do you got? That's what I thought, buddy. Well, I guess we gotta hold your hand and assure you you're gonna be okay. Put your moves on, brother. Be great. Win her over. She too easy. Looks the same in all of them. I'm people, I guess. Still was a waste of time. I'm still not interested in you. She could have used today to improve. Except this doesn't really accomplish anything either. But she's not gonna let you. Your only memories ever in life. She needs them. She needs them. Surprised herself.
持ってないものを失うことはできないよね。でも AI さんは今失うことを恐れた。それは AI さんが今何かを持っていることの。
I thought it would be meaningless, but look, you obtain things. What a beautiful thing.
これは何？なんで？ハンカチはきれいに殺菌して返す。唾液には殺菌作用がある。
舐めるの？
違う。選択で。
Ask the question. Yes.
私と。
Let's go. This shit too easy.
あなたと恋をしてもっと多くのものを得てみたい。私の知らなかった有意義な時。
こちらこそよろしくお願いします。
We enter the mutual agreement. Oh. The aggressor. Alright, see you tomorrow. No, I respect that completely. Yeah. Do it more often, honestly. Congratulations. This is why you asked about her the other day? I just expected those. Jesus Christ, Hagari. Alright, buddy.
切腹で人はそう簡単に死ねない。服毒の方が効率的。何円滑に死なそうとしてんのよ。そんなことより、その遊園地の
Yeah, why didn't we get to go? Yeah.
行くべき。だからあんたは昨日言ったんじゃない。それは付き合
But again, yeah.
恋人としてはまだ。
よし、じゃあ今度の休み、みんなでどこか行こうか。
All of you together.
カラオケ、映画。
ここなんかどうですか。
Oh no. The pool episode. The AI makes her introduction, and it's pretty good. I mean, I like the approach, and the way that I guess we use the overall system of kind of the, what are they called, the soulmates, right? And the way that we're able to kind of approach that with her in this situation, because as opposed to how the other girls have immediately like kind of fell for him or been interested in him like right away as soon as they had that spark and that connection happen, we don't have that moment right away with her, right? She is very just not that, right? She doesn't feel the same exact way, which is fun because it allows us basically to know instantly, right? It tells you, hey, this is the girl, this is what's going to happen, and then you just have to kind of wonder until we get to that moment or why that's going to happen, as opposed to simply making them fall for him instantly without having any like real build up or real reason or anything for it. We do a similar thing, I guess, with Shizuka in her situation, but she is kind of interested already, like from the start, at least whether it's just on a friendship level or romantically or whatever situation that you want to put it in. She's interested in him already from that moment of the connection, whereas AI here doesn't seem to be very interested from that exact moment. She's rather just put off or not thinking of him twice, right? She's just like, what the fuck was this weird sensation I just felt? And then after that, just doesn't think about it again until she starts acting out of character. Unless she was thinking about it, and then just her acting out of character, such as the sucking on the finger and like all the other stuff that ended up happening, right? Like, unless that stuff is things that she actually still was feeling in those moments, but she just can't like realize or explain to herself maybe why she acted out of character in those moments. But to me, it just seemed like she was doing at the moment whatever she thought was right, and then when she reflected back on it, she started like feeling like all these desires and stuff that she's probably had to suppress or whatever else the situation is, lying to herself probably constantly over time. And maybe the way that she outwardly presents herself isn't exactly how she is, as we see, the different ways that she has to act or the ways that she has to do things to kind of suppress these things, because she's told herself that she needs to live by a certain way and follow whatever it is, be the most efficient that she can, right, and not do anything in these unnecessary actions or things. So she could just be, telling herself or trying to suppress the facts that she may want to actually have fun and live a normal life and whatever else is, but she chooses to kind of go down this path for whatever, just standing by that constantly. From a character design standpoint, she is pretty close with Karne, in my opinion, of my favorite. I think Karne's character design's fantastic. So like, not even counting personality or anything, just her design is great. So they're very close of how much like appeal I guess I have within them. But I don't know. We need to see more of them, right, and see how they like kind of act with each other, and then the way that we develop. But immediately, I think her introduction isn't as strong or interesting to me as Shizuka's ended up being, whereas the other two girls we just immediately got kind of introduced to. And then I'm also just not attached to her character type very much, but I do appreciate certain aspects about her, kind of forward, the way that she kind of just is more aggressive in these situations, right? The way that she's more upfront and she's willing to just kind of like the way that the kiss went, right? We're not beating around the bush here. We're going to get right to it, right? We have these desires or we have these things that we're supposed to do within a relationship or that somebody may want or whatever it is, right? And we efficiently find our way to get to that solution, as opposed to kind of going around that. We're not going to talk around things in these conversations, such as like the other characters may. There's no things with like a text to speech thing kind of stuck between us. There's no Cinderella Karna being stuck in between us. There's nothing like that, right? It's just straight to the point with you. You tell me what you want, I tell you what I want. If things aren't matching up, it doesn't matter. And it's pretty decent. I mean, the communication aspect is off just because she's kind of, her head's not like on fully straight for like social interactions and stuff. But she does seem to communicate like pretty well in that sense. So I think that works pretty well. But overall, I would like to see more of her before I guess I get like a stronger opinion and thoughts on her. But I don't necessarily love her so much. I still probably prefer Karne and Shizuka over her. Just, I don't know, initially where we're at right now. So we'll end up having to see where we go. We're going to move into a beach episode next week, or a pool episode. So the fan service is coming strong. Not that we haven't already gotten plenty throughout the show so far, but it's going to come extremely strong going forward. And I'm interested to see, especially because they come in all different, shapes and sizes and stuff. So to see if they're comparing each other or comparing themselves with each other, doing, whatever it is, being concerned about how he might view them in comparison to somebody else, or might not desire them because of the way that they're not built. I don't know, but it'll be an interesting way to see how they kind of all decide to approach it. Also, we've done a good job at doing like flipping things on its head here, not actually following the norms in a way, even though this is like parody of that. I'd be curious to see if they go about the beach or the pool episode here in a different direction, like a slightly different one, than I'd be expecting or used to. I wouldn't be shocked at all if AI is like the type of, let me wear fucking what is it, like school swimsuit, because like why would I waste money and go out and like buy things or something like that, right? You know, like, or just something like extremely like that would cover her or whatever the case is. Like I would definitely get those types of feelings for her, and I think that all of them have like very set things that you can expect them to kind of be wearing, the way that they're going to, that'll match their personalities perfectly. I'll probably talk about that and make predictions on that before the episode next week, just to see if I'm right. Introductions here at the beginning, where we end up meeting her for the first time, and we have our initial spark for the soulmate here, as we are trying to just kind of talk about where everybody ended up placing within the class on their, I think it was their midterms or whatever it ended up being. It ends up being pretty good for all the girls, as they all placed pretty high, some way higher than others, but all of them still placed well above the top half, which I think is pretty good. But AI, we end up figuring, is number one, so of course our boy ends up getting a lot of interest in her. I don't know how it didn't just like set off alarms immediately when he asked the other girls about like what type of girl she was or something. They should have immediately been like, yeah, what are your fucking plans? Not that they even care at this point, you know, but still they should have probably brought that up. Our initial introductions, once again, is constantly just being shut down, things not being proper, her just using the book, not seeing any point in these practices or these other things. And she's immediately like, she puts me off like right away, right? And that's just how she is. I don't know, as a character, it's not an interesting thing. But where she reels me right back in is a perfect moment here of her doing something like this, right? It doesn't make any sense logically to take this approach instead, a risk of infection and all the other things that she talked about, but she ends up doing it. It's a very hot moment, and it's a great way of them kind of adding like another layer or level to her that makes you kind of question the things that she's doing, but also something that's a bit more direct in an approach that the others probably wouldn't have done, and it adds to make her character a little bit more unique and stand out in comparison to the others, of course. Constantly trying to talk to her and thank her and all these other things, but be shut down. It doesn't work, of course, because the type of person that she is. I love the things here where we get to see her in her room. Rooms are great, just for anybody, I guess, who hasn't even realized it or doesn't pick up on it, but rooms definitely can tell like a lot about a person, the way that they're trying to present themselves in ways. It's a little different, because sometimes you present your room or something like that in a outwards way of like what you want people to see in you, like if they were to come or like understand. But sometimes you also, like, assuming you have friends and all these things, which she clearly probably doesn't in these moments and won't have anybody over, so it doesn't necessarily matter what she wants. But in her situation, she does it from like an efficiency standpoint and like a thing that's more usable. So you can also use rooms in a situation of the way that you kind of design and decorate the things within it, as a way of comfort, because it's like your enclosed safe space, and it's the first place that you probably, especially as like a younger person, have a lot of freedom to put the things that you like and the things that you want to kind of be able to express outwardly, but you might be too afraid to show the outside world or people that you're not comfortable enough to let into the safe space or something. That's typically more of the route that it is, but some people definitely do it in ways where they are trying to kind of just set it up and put things in places where it like outwardly presents it to maybe family or friends and stuff that might come see it, in a direction that allows them to think like this is this type of person, or like this is what this person's trying to showcase. But it works perfect for her because it's just a literal white blank room with like nothing. There's the only things on it is like lighting so that she can properly like see things. Like it's very neat. It's very like everything's like in a position where she can efficiently kind of grab it and do things, which just, it makes perfect sense why this is her exact setup. I love her kind of freaking out here in this moment and reflecting on like, why the fuck did I just do what I did? It made no sense, and like losing her mind, and then she starts just reciting pi over and over and over, which I think is great. This is such a fun flip of her asking or saying that she's in love with him, and then him kind of agreeing, and then her rejecting him afterwards. I think is great, being like, oh, you kind of fucked it up for me, but you know, I can't do this. We end up making our deal where we're gonna end up going on a date though, because if we can kind of change her mind on things, you know, thinking that memories and a whole bunch of other things don't really matter. There's no point in having fun, because those experiences and things aren't really useful and don't help you kind of progress your life or get you into a good position at any point. Like they don't do anything for you to really I guess, progress you as a person. So she shows up. I like her date outfit a lot, actually. It's very casual and laid back. Of course, it's nothing that she's trying too hard, because of course she's not trying too hard. She really doesn't end up caring. And then she constantly just shuts down absolutely everything throughout the entirety of this, of course, because why wouldn't she? None of it ever makes sense to her. That's why I was like, dude, we just got to put you on like a roller coaster. Not that it would matter, because she would probably just complain and be like, this is a waste of time and useless and stuff. But if you do something like that and you put her in one of those situations, we might see, as we end up seeing with the fear of heights and everything that ends up happening here, she might have like a thing with the movement based on it, and her reaction or whatever might, or all like thoughts of logic and stuff might go out the window. Plus, they're kind of like interesting things, just to think about, like how fucking fast you can end up moving like on these little things and stuff. And also, I figured that she would take more interest in stuff like that, but I guess that's a little misread on me, because especially something like this, on being on like a Ferris wheel and being so high up and whatever the situation is with this, I'd assume that she easily would have been able to, kind of take some sort of fascination in the ways that these are kind of built and constructed and stuff. But I guess she's not necessarily too interested in that, because they're not things that are too interesting for her. Why also does this shit say lover on it? Like, why does he have that? I don't know. I just noticed that. I like the reflecting back here, and we're able to look at all these photos and everything. That goes great. And her kind of act like it doesn't matter, and as he's burning the pictures, but she immediately, out of like something that she doesn't even think that she has within him, tries to put a stop to it, and she's like, fuck, you can't burn those, I don't want you to do that. And as he says, it's proof that literally this is something that you didn't have before. It's an experience and something that you've constantly put down or told yourself is useless and you're not going to like, or you don't care for, or whatever the case is actually a very kind of important and crucial thing within developing people, and developing your way of being social or relationships or whatever it is, and giving you kind of a sense of belonging and a sense of home and comfort within somebody, and allowing you to kind of outwardly express yourself a little bit more instead of being so reserved and alone all the time. And it gives you a good position for her to kind of be in. It's not like too complex of like a thing for you to really understand, but of course she's going to break down in these moments, because one, she's not understanding herself or why she's doing things, but also she just gained something that she's literally never had in her life before, and she's probably overcome with joy, but also like confusion and scared of not knowing like these changes and different things and stuff that comes about with it. It all adds up, to a certain point. This is just a fun moment, so we're being able to lick the thing. We end up going into our agreement of the dating together, and I love her immediate move to pull him in and kiss him instantly and be like, we're not beating around this shit. We're getting right to it. It's the efficient way to go about it, and I really appreciate and respect her. She gains points. She moves up the ladder for that. I should have like a board or something here, and we just keep them rated throughout it. The introduction to the other girls is great, because they all just kind of accept it. I truly do hate the way that they see it, like see this situation. I guess not that it should really matter, but like, specifically like Hakurei and the way that she kind of sees the situation, and she's like, oh, if you think I'm worthy enough to still be around, that you have all these other girls and I'm still like one of the chosen ones to be here, I'm great. And like Shizuka just being like content with still being in the, I'm just a reinforcement, just somebody extra, but like, so I'm not going to complain or whatever. It's just like, I hate those lines of thinking, but at the same time, it's all for good fun and whatever here. I also love the plotting of death and not being efficient. But we all kind of agree that we want to go out and hang out together, and we ultimately have something here. Of course, the swimsuit episode's coming. I love how self-aware it ends up being in this moment. Hakurei in this situation also being the one to openly ask for us to go here and do this, says a lot to me, of course, because she, out of all of them, have the most, I guess, to kind of showcase and show off in this situation. So of course she's going to be most open about it. I mean, even just look at the way that they dress and everything like that. She's easily the most exposed and comfortable with that. And then just the idea that she has probably the biggest assets in a way, right? And she's willing to kind of showcase them and use them to her advantage to gain literally whatever that she can. So she's going to, of course, naturally try and flaunt that the best that she can in this moment, you would assume, especially for somebody like Rentaro. So I'm excited to kind of see. Overall, though, I do really appreciate Rentaro's the way that he kind of approached this in this situation, and the way that he's that person who can kind of show people the light or show them another side of things that they weren't able to experience, or maybe something that they kind of wrote off and thought was useless, or just literally doesn't think that they'll ever be able to be in that position and make it happen. And we've seen that now with multiple girls, and he's that person that's able to pull them into that and really give them that spark and give them that something else that is missing within their life, and how willing he is to kind of be acceptful of the things that they are going through, or the way that they see things, and not try and change them too much, but still just kind of let them or lead into the things that they are and be as helpful as he can without actively changing them too much, but just opening them up enough to be to the point that they are comfortable being around others. We'll end up getting to see how AI ends up working with the other characters ultimately here. I don't think it's going to be too good or enjoyable. That's just my personal expectation. I don't know. Her character type doesn't seem like someone who's going to be too fun to have a lot of moments around with other people. But I guess that's yet to be seen. So we'll keep an open mind until we really get to it. That's going to be all from me. If you liked it all, hit the like and subscribe. Moving on to me, feel free to check out the other videos on the channel. Leave any comments with this episode or series. I'll be back for episode 6 next week. I'm praying I'm going to be on time. I'm sorry I'm so far behind with absolutely everything. I'm still like a week behind on things, but I'm hoping that I catch up and we'll be good. And I can have this out probably on the next day after it airs, as opposed to like 3 or 4 days late, like the past couple have been. Yeah, see you next time for episode 6. Peace.